Lago Academy is not your average high school. It heavily focuses more on the science, math, and professional subjects. Along the way, students tackle many different assignments and projects in the same cohort in every class. Group projects are very common here as it prepares scholars for the workplace in their future. But no project stands out as the Sophomore Museum Project. The project is simple. The scholars are tasked to create a museum exhibit relating to any science topic, as well as being interactive and hands-on. The catch? Well, not only are they creating an exhibit for their grade, but must present their projects to elementary schoolers. Therefore, their exhibit must be taught at a third grade learning standard. The idea of this project is to teach kids by interacting with small experience to help them grasp the idea of the exhibit's concept, whether it's about as simple as gravity or complex as nature and biology. Scholars are also building collaborative skills with their teammates to strengthen their abilities for the work field. This is helped by careful planning for over the course of the month by the teachers. So, how do we start this project? Well, it starts with a field trip. Scholars are given an introduction to the project, not just by a lecture from a teacher, but in a field trip to the Discovery Cube, a children's museum.
The IDP for the fall of your 10th grade year is to create museum exhibits for third graders. And so this is where they come to get all of their ideas for what third graders love to do.
The exhibit is built on 3 principles: interaction, learning and understanding, and design. It can range from being complex exhibits to fairly simple ones. It all depends on the student's creativity and ability to construct. Students are to take notes on the exhibits on how they work and what they are trying to teach, to which they apply to their own exhibit. After the field trip, they can start brainstorming ideas for their exhibit based on the knowledge they have gathered from the cube. And so, the planning begins. Here, scholars sketch their ideas and share it with their group mates and teachers. They then have to build a mock-up exhibit using paper and then present it to an upperclassman for feedback before gaining teachers' approval. This is to ensure quality for the scholar's exhibit and prevent duplicate ideas across different groups in different classes.
They're in their prototyping phase, so this is the phase where they'll need to get more logistic about their project is, and the more feedback they get, the better they can improve their project while they're building it and brainstorming on how to exactly build it.
Not every idea gets approved, but they'll eventually get there, and once they do, they start planning the final design and gather the materials for their exhibit. Here, scholars are working on their finalized design, working on the graphics and mechanisms. Their scientific topics are created and developed in their other classes while they work on their exhibits in art class. They'll be able to make brochures and signs along with their exhibits to further immerse the experience of a museum. All the materials are processed and obtained with the help of their teachers, as well as provide woodcutting and graphic printing.
So now, when we take the pressurized energy, it's going to go through the tube into this one, and now pushing them.
It should be noted that scholars are allowed to reference previous designs from past years, as well as salvage any material needed from them. When building their exhibits, they must keep note of the structural integrity of their design and make it kid-friendly to use. They will also have a backup plan if part of their exhibit malfunctions. This is to ensure the safety of the kids, but also make sure they have fun. finally have the exhibit hall. Scholars get to present their final product to the Rock Springs Elementary students and also their peers. Just like the scholars of Del Lago, they too take a field trip to a museum, while also having the scholars as tour guides.
Well, for the last few years, maybe 4 or 5 years, we've had a partnership with this school. We bring the third graders in and they get to manipulate and experience all of the wonderful science projects that the high schoolers put together. They're learning they're making attachments to all of their science that they've been learning, and yeah, they love it.
During the event, while scholars are being graded, they are also judged by representatives of the Children's Discovery Museum in San Diego to get a chance of their exhibit being featured there. This opens up huge opportunities for them, like getting an internship from them for experience. Looking at this event as a whole, it's more than just a project. It's a learning experience for both the observer and the creator. Scholars gain a deep dive of what it means to create something like this and present it as a fun experience for others. And Del Lago has created this opportunity that hardly any other school can do.
Like them seeing this beautiful high school, I think them seeing their peers, their older peers, makes a huge difference. To them, they really love the interaction with the high schoolers, and then just getting excited about science, the life sciences, the physical sciences. Sometimes they do an experiment and they're like, this is science?